If you love somebody, better tell them while they're here, 'cause they may just run away from you. You'll never know quite when, well, then again it just depends on how long the time is left for you.
I've had the highest mountains, I've had the deepest rivers. You can have it all, but life keeps moving. I take it in, but don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world.
I tried to cut these corners, tried to take the easy way out. I kept on falling short of something. I could have gave up then, but then again I couldn't have, 'cause I traveled all this way for something.
I take it in, but don't look down, 'cause I'm on top of the world, eh? I'm on top of the world, eh? Been waiting on this for a while now, paying my dues to the dirt. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. I'm on top of the world. I've been waiting to smile, eh? Been holding it in for a while, eh? Take you with me if I can. Been dreaming of this since a child. And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you make it round. But get up now, get up now. And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you make it round. But get up now, get up now. And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you hit the ground. But get up now, get up now. I've been waiting. And I know it's hard when you're falling down, and it's a long way up when you hit the ground. But get up now, get up now. I'm on top of the world.
It's in my head, it's in my soul. With every breath, I keep pressing toward the goal. There are no boundaries to what I can achieve. I believe, yes, I believe.
I'll dream and all that I can be. I see a world full of possibility. I see a time that's right for me. It's when my dream becomes reality.
It's in my head, it's in my soul. With every breath, I keep pressing toward the goal.
There are no boundaries to what I can achieve. I believe, yes, I believe in the dream and all that I can be. I see a world full of possibility. I see a time that's right for me. It's when my dream becomes reality. Every day I'll pursue it.
Whatever it takes, I'll do it. Each step brings me closer to the prize.
A little farther, a little longer,
A little better, a little stronger. It's worth the work and worth the sacrifice. I see a dream. I believe. I see a time. It's right for me.
I believe in the
Good morning. It is my privilege as Student Council President to welcome you to this very special occasion, the commencement of the class of 2017. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Good morning. It is my honor and pleasure to speak to everyone today on behalf of IMSA's class of 2017. From looking at us, and by the numbers, there are a lot of things about us that you probably already know. There's a long list of awards and accomplishments. After all, we've researched, we've done sports, we've written essays. But what does this say about our character as a class? And how do we even differ from the 29 other classes in IMSA's history? Here's what I know. I know that they are quirky, funny, goofy, intelligent. They love to dance and sing and play Minecraft and League of Legends and anything besides their homework. But above all, I know that they love to help each other. They would jump off bridges and sacrifice so much for their friends. I firmly believe that this is the most selfless, most genuine group of people that I have ever met. I may be a little bit biased, but I do mean it. We are a collection of 213 individuals who are hard workers, inspirations, and best friends. And I say all of this to break a fact to you, that there's a thing that affects everyone in this room, and that's time. Even to us, the incredible, selfless class of 17, time says that we're temporary. Because the universe is pretty old, hundreds of billions of years old, and it will continue to age for billions of years long after we are gone. Our time in IMSA is a total of 3 years. And what's 3 to hundreds of billions? In the grand scheme of things, our time at IMSA, and maybe our entire lives, actually, are only brief moments. Specks of dust. Today, this ceremony is a punctuation of something that is actually pretty short. Does that make it meaningless? 3 out of hundreds of billions of years. How can we have meaning? Are we special? My answer is, maybe not. But it doesn't mean you admit defeat. It means you fight back. You grab the world by its shoulders, and you shake it around, and you make meaning. By, advancing the human condition. But above all, I want you to remember that advancing the human condition doesn't necessarily mean to cure a disease or to win a Nobel Prize. It means to be selfless, to be a good person to those around you, and to make every community you touch a better place. And I think IMSA was a good exercise in this area of expertise. To go on doing that, to continue against the billions and hundreds of years that will pass, is my challenge to you. Be good, class of 2017, and also everyone else in this room. If you are good to others, to yourself, then in that way you can be good to the world. Thank you.
A lot of damn people. Hello. So I would like to start off this speech by saying thank you. Thank you to all the staff and faculty who have served my classmates and me for the past 3 years. Thank you to all the guests who are here today to experience this ceremony. Thank you to the class of 2017 for all the fond memories we have created these past 3 years, and thank you for the fact that out of all the people you could have possibly picked, you picked me to represent you today. So thank you. My final thank you goes to IMSA. IMSA has offered me tremendous opportunities, ranging from SIR to lead, to even being the bench warmer for the baseball team. And well, you know, as I was writing this speech, I realized that it must really reflect on me and my baseball skills when I say I was the bench warmer for the IMSA baseball team. But you know, that's not really all too important right now. What is important is that I'm incredibly grateful for my time at IMSA. I was able to meet some tremendous people, learn a lot, sleep a little, and have a lot of fun. As wonderful as it is for me to talk about how great IMSA is, I want to step aside from that today and actually talk about the imperfections of IMSA. Now, yes, it's known that IMSA students don't sleep a lot. They sometimes do things they really shouldn't, and the food could be just a little bit better. But however, there are deeper imperfections at IMSA. One specific imperfection that many students, including myself, have become conscious of these last few months is that there are a lot of students who are not able to express themselves freely on campus. You may be wondering, what do I mean by this? Well, what I mean is that there are some students on the IMSA campus who feel too uncomfortable at times, and at times they even feel unsafe to voice their opinions and express themselves. Over these past 3 years, I have seen and been in countless occasions where a student or a group of students dismiss, ignore, and even belittle other students because their beliefs do not align neatly with their own agenda and opinions. It's no surprise some students, particularly those with right-wing opinions, do not want to voice their opinions. It is because they will be attacked for what they say, and there really isn't anything for them to do about it. Limiting other people's ability to speak causes us, as individuals, a disservice, and IMSA a disservice. As people who are so heavily invested in academia, we must take time to listen to others. We must take time to give those we disagree with a chance to speak their minds. By having these sorts of conversations, we learn things we wouldn't have otherwise. We gain the perspective of others, and we allow for new ideas to emerge. IMSA has these 10 belief statements that are meant to guide it as an institution. One of these belief statements is, we believe that diverse perspectives enrich understanding. And I would agree with that very much. However, I believe IMSA has lost sight of that statement. Perspectives and opinions that go against the majority's opinion are too often labeled as regressive, hateful, bigot, ignorant, or some other negative label. IMSA has become an echo chamber where all ideas must align with some specific platform or agenda, and everything outside of that is too often dismissed, ignored, or labeled. I'd also like to make a clarification that it's not just the students guilty of this. Teachers, staff members, administrators, and RCs are all guilty of doing this. I'm not allowed to call out specific names, but you all know who you are. Now, it doesn't have to be like this, and it really, really shouldn't have to be like this. People should be free to say what they believe and defend their opinions. People should be able to hold conversations on any topic without fear of being seen as an enemy. Feelings might get hurt, but we all thrive on fair dialogue and debate. I hope IMSA can get back on track with following its belief statement of, we believe that diverse perspectives enrich understanding. We all need to embrace different perspectives and opinions because that is how we move forward as an institution and how we develop as people. Something I implore you all to try and do is be uncomfortable. Not unsafe, but uncomfortable. Talk to people who you know you disagree with on almost any topic out there. Explore new ideas and perspectives. Because it'll do you a lot more good than it will harm. There are so many great things that come out of leaving your comfort zone. A few weeks ago, I accidentally stumbled upon a biology research paper titled Absolute Coding of Stimulus Novelty in the Human Substantia Nigra VTA. Yes, that's a really fancy and complicated name. And seeing how I only passed SI Biology by 6% my sophomore year and never took another biology course after that, I had no idea what this study found until I came across a far simpler explanation on the internet. But basically what this study found is that putting yourself in new and unfamiliar situations triggers a unique part of the brain that is only activated when you see or experience completely new things. And when this part of the brain is activated, it releases dopamine, nature's make you feel happy chemical. So leaving your comfort zone not only gives you an opportunity to learn new things, ask questions, defend your stance, and really grow as a person, but also makes you happier. So again, I urge you all to try and be uncomfortable and explore new things, new perspectives, talk to new people, ask questions, shadow echo chambers. If you're only talking to people who think like you, then there's a problem. For the seniors specifically, our next step is college. I do not have a single doubt that you will all meet people who loathe just the idea of leaving their comfort zone and safe spaces. If we all truly care about bettering ourselves and the world around us, then we shouldn't succumb to these kinds of people, but rather try to help them. We should strive to be uncomfortable and strive to encourage those around us to also be uncomfortable. IMSA has given a lot to all of us. I will genuinely cherish the time I spent here and the people I spent it with. However, no matter how grateful we are for IMSA, we must address its issues so it can improve and so we can leave IMSA a little better than we found it. Now in my final words, I would like to bring up IMSA's mission statement, which is to ignite and nurture creative, ethical, scientific minds that advance the human condition. Now that's a big statement and a seemingly big task for all of us to fulfill because we often get stuck on the advance the human condition part. We think it means that in order to advance the human condition, we somehow have to change the entirety of the world. Well, that's not entirely true. All we really have to do is change one person's world, and with that, we will have helped advance the human condition. So go out there, help people, talk to people, and listen to people. You might just be surprised with what you find. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Paula Olszewski-Kabilias, and I have the honor of serving as Chairman Pro Tem of the IMSA Board of Trustees. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I wish to welcome all of you to your commencement class of 2017. As a member of the Board of Trustees, I take great pride in honoring each class and in celebrating this special day with all of you. This is a long-awaited milestone for a remarkable group of young adults and for all who have been invested in their academic, personal, and social well-being and development. Family members and friends, faculty and staff, and trustees and funders are all gathered here today to show you, our soon-to-be graduates, how very proud we are of you. This has been a remarkable year, demonstrated by exceptional achievements by you, our graduates. We, as IMSA, have much to celebrate as a community while honoring each and every graduate. The board recognizes the commitment of IMSA faculty and staff, students and parents, alumni and educational partners, and the state of Illinois and private funders for believing in IMSA's mission and supporting our work. To the class of 2017 and to all who are here today, pause and take a moment to soak it all in and be proud of what we have accomplished together. I now have the honor of introducing our commencement speaker. Dr. Beth Purvis serves as Secretary of Education in the administration of Governor Bruce Rauner. In this role, Secretary Purvis advises Governor Rauner regarding cradle-to-career policy while simultaneously working with the 16 Illinois state agencies responsible for administrating programs for children and youth. She brings more than 28 years of education experience to this position. For more than 12 years, Dr. Purvis served as Chief Executive Officer for the Chicago International Charter School, CICS. Before joining CICS, she was an assistant professor of special education and associate director of the Child and Family Development Center at the University of Illinois at Chicago. Previously, Dr. Purvis served as an early childhood special educator at Tennessee's Early Intervention System in Nashville, Tennessee. She was also a teacher of the blind and visually impaired for Montgomery County Public Schools in Maryland. Dr. Purvis is a graduate of Bucknell University, where she earned a bachelor's degree in educational research and elementary education. She earned a master's degree from Teachers College at Columbia University and a doctorate of education from Peabody College at Vanderbilt University. She currently resides in Chicago with her husband and 2 children. It is with great pleasure and profound respect that I introduce Dr. Beth Purvis.
Good morning, Dr. Torres, Dr. Kabilius, Dr. Dalal, and members of the board. Congratulations, graduates, for reaching what I know will be the first of many milestones in your educational career. Parents and family members, thank you for trusting the faculty of IMSA enough to share your greatest treasure. Faculty members, thank you for the work that you've done to prepare these scholars for what comes next. Although the spotlight belongs to the graduates today, their current and future accomplishments are a reflection of your choice to teach in a school where a core belief is that diverse perspectives enrich understanding and inspiring discovery and creativity. Again, my name is Beth Purvis. I have the good fortune to serve as the Secretary of Education in the Office of Governor Bruce Rauner. Although the governor was not able to be here with you this morning, he sends his best wishes to you for your future. His only request, wherever you go next, remember that Illinois is your home, and please come home. It's an honor and privilege to be with you here on the 30th graduating class of the Illinois Math and Science Academy. Through my conversations with Dr. Torres, and I am sure that among this class is the next Steve Chen, Clara Shu, or Don Porzio. As someone who spent the majority of my career working in K-12 education, I've attended many high school graduation ceremonies. During most, the speaker encourages the students to see high school graduation as both a milestone and a stepping stone. I understand that no such encouragement is needed here. It was difficult for you to be accepted into IMSA, and even more difficult for you to succeed here. You are naturally talented and have proven yourself as hardy enough to survive and thrive through your core courses, independent studies, service learning projects, and it sounds like baseball. You need no encouragement from me to succeed. But much like your vice president, I've spent a lot of the last few days wondering what message I should share with you all. Well, I have a favor to ask. Succeed where my generation has failed. Seriously, we need your help. Don't get me wrong, many of us who are baby boomers have done some pretty incredible things. The world around me has changed since the year since you were born. Not only did we party like it's 1999, our everyday lives have changed dramatically since you all were born. Advances in genetic engineering, nanotechnology, and robotics, things that you know more about than I do, have changed our present and our future. The ability to access information has changed the way we think about education from preschool to medical school. That said, I look around me, especially in the position I'm in now, and I'm worried that the world that we have left for you has forgotten some of the most important lessons of life. You see, as it was said in my very kind introduction, I spent the first years of my career working with very young children. I've spent the last 2 years in a job where I work almost exclusively with adults. I've decided I like working with kids better. So I've been thinking about the fact that somewhere between childhood and middle age, we forget some very important lessons. I ask you to leave, as you leave childhood behind, to carry with you the core beliefs of IMSA. Again, the same that Matt talked about earlier. So what are those core beliefs? From your website, all people have equal intrinsic worth. My boss, the governor, often says, "To one whom much is given, much is expected." You have been given many gifts and have worked to maximize those gifts. I ask you to do more than recognize, to recognize those who may have fewer gifts than you all have. Fewer gifts of family, fewer gifts of natural ability, And I ask you not to just listen to them, but to protect them. Use your brilliance to fix small problems as well as the large ones. Do those things that no one else will notice. Second, all people have choices and are responsible for their own actions. Throughout your classes, you've been graded on answers that are right or wrong. The difference between an A and B may be the difference between good and better. That is also true for life. Take a stand when others do the wrong thing, and apologize when you do the wrong thing. It will amaze you how many times how few people say I'm sorry when you become adults, and what happens when you do. The third statement says belonging to a community requires commitment to the common good. Simply put, it isn't all about you. My generation forgets that a lot. And in a world where you post pictures about what, where, and why you ate a fried Twinkie, it becomes easy to forget about the common good. The common good is not just the large things, like solving world peace. It is being as kind to the people who work with you and who work for you as you are to the people you work for. Diverse perspectives enrich understanding and inspire discovery and creativity. Little ones are drawn to people and things who are different. Children run to them. They ask questions. They want to be their friends. Read the local, state, and national news and understand how we as adults have lost the ability to respect diverse perspectives, especially in politics. This is the one place that college may also be a challenge. Most colleges allow diversity of opinion, but within a more narrow spectrum. Remember that there are other perspectives out there. Seek them out, understand them, and even if you eventually reject them, understand where those beliefs come from. The next statement is honesty, truth, and respect are vital for any relationship to thrive. Again, think about young children. First, they're wildly honest. I ask my daughter how I look on any given day, and she gives me the brutal honesty. But somewhere along the way, we stop being honest with our others and with ourselves about what is true. Here you've learned how to come to the truth through looking at multiple perspectives and by working hard to get to the core of issues. Apply that to every part of your life and remember that when you're my age. Learning never ends. You may often, and all of you may very often be the smartest person in the room. That doesn't mean you always know the most. Respect the knowledge that has been accumulated by others around you. Respect that their paths may have been different and more difficult in some ways. They have had to take a different path. That path may have taught them something that is quite different and also quite valuable for you to understand. Next, meaning is constructed by the learner. What you learn will depend upon how well you listen. Too often today, I'm in rooms where people wait to talk, to get their point of view across. That's a little bit of the Twitter effect. Let me tell you what I think, but I don't really have time to respond to you. Next time you're angry, I mean really, really angry, take a deep breath and listen. Then respond to what was said to you and disregard what you were going to say. See what happens when you respond to what is said to you rather than wait to speak. No one's path in life is predetermined. Remember, you aren't owed anything and that life is not fair, nor is it equitable. But you have already gotten a pretty good start. Don't waste this start with bad choices later. The ability to discern and create connections is the essence of understanding. Look around you. No matter what anyone says, these high school friends, these friends from IMSA, will be the best friends of your life. Remember to stay connected in every way you can, and remember to use these friends to bring you back down to earth. And last, we are all stewards of our planet. That means taking care of the long-term health of the planet and those who live in it. And you may be thinking about that on a grand scale, but when I think about taking care of everyone on this planet, the most important thing to do is to be kind every day to everyone you meet, even if they don't deserve it. So in closing, I have faith that your generation, which seems more adaptive, more social, more entrepreneurial than any before it, can fix this place. Your collective will and your impatience, I believe, will better equip you to address the complex problems that we baby boomers have left for you. I trust that IMSA has given you the skills and the support to lead this state, this country, and to leave it as healthier, safer, and more tolerant than you have found it. I want to thank you in advance for making this world a better place for my son and my daughter, who are a few years behind you. Thank you for what you will do.
Dr. Purvis, thank you for your remarks today. After the ceremony, we will present you with a token of our appreciation for your time. Thank you.
Good morning. Congratulations, class of 2017. Thank you, parents, family, friends, RCs, and all those teachers who helped us all get to this spot today. As I promised last evening, these reflections are for you, the class of 2017. In these final moments, before you officially become an alum, I want to ponder with you how education contributes to the way others see you. For the purposes of our discussion, I'm going to consider education consisting of two artifacts. The first is, yes, the dreaded transcript. And the second is how you embody the mission statement of the institution. Don't worry, I have not brought your transcripts with me, although I am sure most of you have your IMSA transcript committed to memory. More than 30 years ago, I too could recite my high school transcript. No more. Just as you will, I have other transcripts, none of which I can recite in detail today. Although my transcripts have provided me with opportunities, especially as I was transitioning from the institutions they were from, their power has faded over time. Today, almost no one requests my transcript. I say almost no one because IMSA requested both my undergraduate and graduate transcript when I became principal. Before this, it had been more than 2 decades since I needed a transcript. Does this mean the transcript fades into oblivion? For most people, the answer is yes. Now, should you choose to stay in education, as I have, you may once or twice a year wear a version of your transcript. Let me explain. I argue that the robes we are wearing for this ceremony and other academic celebrations are as close to seeing my transcript as most people will ever get. What do I mean? They are an ancient code which thrills the mathematician in me. The academic gown has been around for a very long time. It probably dates back to the 12th or 13th century in Europe. Now, the Europeans take an ad hoc approach to these gowns. Not so in the United States. In 1895, an intercollegiate commission met to determine the standards of academic dress. Now, it's hard to enforce it. That said, we do have standards. You might notice, and frankly, one of the most fun things about going to commencements is noticing these dresses, that they are different. So let's start with the sleeves. It turns out these are part of the code. The bell-shaped sleeves with 3 velvet stripes represents the doctorate degree. The oblong, the master's. The hoods are also part of the code. The doctoral hoods are 4 feet long. The master's hoods are 3.5 feet long. The bachelor's degree hood is 3 feet long. The code continues with the lining of the hood. Now, the interior colors are determined by the school, and the doctoral degree also allows the front velvet and the 3 sleeves to be their color. Now, I won't give you the whole code, but I'll give you a few keys. The doctorate of philosophy is dark blue. Of law is purple. Of medicine, green. The doctor of education, light blue. Now, there are many more colors here today, so I ask you, as I did this morning, to ask your RCs and others, ooh, what is brown? What is pink? Oh my goodness, I've never seen that color before. But still, there are more parts. But now you have enough to read our terminal degrees and our institution. Still, not exactly the transcript, but this is as close as most people will ever get to seeing my transcript. What about the mission statement? I believe that this is more visible. Let's check my hypothesis. My high school's mission statement is the best self for the common good, which they argue can be seen by a person who lives with integrity and champions a respectful culture. As your last high school assignment, I ask you, the researcher, do you see my mission statement, or do you see my transcript when you interact with me? My hope for each and every one of you is that today, your family and friends look at you as someone with a creative, ethical, scientific mind which advances the human condition. Our mission statement. Your senior shirt says, Advancing the Human Condition since 2017, which is a nod to our statement. What you do today to live out this mission statement may be different than what you do next year or 10 years from now. That said, I ask you to check in with yourself periodically to see how are you living out the IMSA mission, igniting and nurturing creative, ethical minds which advance the human condition. Mr. President, Madam Chair, at this time, it is my distinct pleasure as a representative of the faculty, the RCs, and the entire staff of the Residential Academy to present to you these young women and men of the class of 2017 who over the last 3 years have completed the requirements for the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy.
Dr. Olszewski-Kubilius, Dr. Beth Purvis, Dr. Dale, Board of Trustee member Clark, I believe is in the room, class of 2017, parents and family members, IMSA faculty and staff, IMSA ambassadors and emeriti, and other distinguished guests. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning and welcome. Before I accept the graduating class of 2017 and award them their diplomas and medallions, which they are anxiously awaiting, I would like to make a few comments. We have been celebrating our 30th anniversary this past year. Therefore, I thought that I would look back at the first program from 1989 that looked very much like this one. It includes a quote from Dr. Carl Sagan. And that quote says this, I quote, "The need to understand how the universe works is fundamental to human nature. It is also essential for safely managing the human future. But foolishly, we have designed a society based on science and technology in which hardly anyone understands science and technology. This is a clear prescription for disaster. Our future depends on producing and encouraging highly competent, ethically responsible young scientists, as well as a much greater scientific literacy in the general public. The Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy in Aurora, Illinois is dedicated to meeting this challenge. It is a gift from the people of Illinois to the human future," end quote. Dr. Sagan's words are as true today as they were when they were first uttered. But it is the cost of this gift from the people of Illinois that I would like us to consider this morning. How much does it cost to give this gift of IMSA to the human future? How much does it cost to receive the gift of IMSA? Several months ago, I was testifying in Springfield, something that we share a lot, before the Senate Higher Education Appropriations Committee, and I mentioned this last night. One of the legislators divided our budget, which is just over 18 million, by the number of students at IMSA, 650, and declared, quote, "It costs you approximately $30,000 to educate students at IMSA for 1 year," unquote. The legislator then said, "This is far more than the average support provided to students in all schools, in the individual schools in Illinois." On another occasion, last month, I was at an executive club luncheon, and a gentleman there found out that I was the president of IMSA, and he asked me, honestly, "What does it cost to go to IMSA?" Well, fresh off the hearing in Springfield, and I didn't really want to hold my tongue anymore, so I responded to him about how much it costs to go to IMSA. If I was going to be honest, and the man said, "Honestly, how much does it cost to go?" So here's what I said. What does it cost students to attend IMSA? Honestly, it costs our students their ego and pride. Before they come to IMSA, their academic self-concept is assisted by what researchers call the big fish, little pond effect. The hypothesis is that it is better to be a big fish in a little pond, meaning that it's better to be a gifted and advanced student in a regular reference group than to be a small fish in a big pond, meaning gifted or advanced student in a gifted reference group. They're the smartest and fastest, geekiest kids in the school prior to coming to IMSA. They get A's without working hard. They often don't have to do homework. They're often not challenged. They're often bored to pieces. And frankly, many students before coming to IMSA hide their smartness. When they do come to IMSA, it can cost them their pride and their ego. They experience failure for the first time. They're now not in the biggest fish, the most advanced or gifted, and they're in a big pond. They're among others who are also advanced and gifted. And when you get around 650 students, many of who were ranked in the top decile or who were ranked number 1 in their class, you quickly find out that there are other classmates that are smarter than you, work harder than you, are more competitive than you. They may even have been exposed to more academic tools or more learning opportunities than you. IMSA costs egos. You agree? Just checking to see if we're awake. But what does it cost parents to send their children to IMSA? Honestly, it costs parents their children. It's not like parents want to send their best kids away to boarding school. I grew up in a family that always said to me, "If you continue to misbehave, we're going to send you away." Away to military school or away to live with your dad. We'll send you away, far away. My brother, the good one at home, was never threatened to be sent away. So at IMSA, our students are the best and it costs parents their children to attend IMSA. Parents have to give up control. Well, some parents try to keep control from afar. You know who you are. Parents pack their children's clothes and send them off to boarding school. Occasionally, they get their child to celebrate holidays and vacations and become painfully aware that their child has matured, grown, and left the house for college 3 years earlier than expected. Parents become premature empty nesters. Going to IMSA costs parents control and giving up time to be with their children. Do you agree, parents? Yes. So what does it cost IMSA employees to work at IMSA? We have faculty and staff here, and honestly, it costs our staff to work at IMSA. Our staff, residential counselors, and faculty have the opportunity to work with the best and brightest students in the state, helping them to develop into mature human beings who will advance the human condition. Yet, here's what it will cost them. Limited to no salary increases, unbearable heat and cold at times, days without sunlight because of the lack of windows. IMSA is called a bunker for a reason. But more importantly, it cost us, me included, our hearts as we develop relationships over the course of 3 years with our students, with you. And we come to even love you. Do you agree, staff, parents? Staff and faculty? But is the education received at IMSA worth the cost? I ask you, class of 2017, is the education that you received at IMSA worth the cost? The sacrifices, the hard work, and the sleepless nights? Yes. This is audience participation, right? You bet you it is. The IMSA education you received over the past 3 years is more than what you pay for. You receive problem-solving skills. You become a decidedly different learner. You receive training in how to think like a scientist, a historian, an author, a speaker of another language, a mathematician, a musician, an artist. And you become a person seeking to be an innovator, an entrepreneur focused on social impact, a leader, a public servant. You receive training in all of these areas. You also develop maturity, deep, lifelong friends, and potentially found your mate for life. What you receive at IMSA is, well, priceless. As I begin to wrap up, I want to remind you that our mission is, it's been reminded already, igniting and nurturing creative, ethical, scientific minds that advance the human condition. And for the past 30 years, IMSA has lived out our 30-year anniversary theme. Think different, act bold. So let me end my remarks by returning to that first commencement speech given to our charter class in 1989 by our founder, Dr. Leon Letterman. So this is how he began that speech in 1989. I quote, "I considered a number of snazzy subjects for my remarks to you today. The unexpurgated story of the Big Bang, the unbearable lightness of neutrinos, symmetry, complexity, and the origin of eagle foods. I then said this is a serious period, and a whole host of charges came to mind. For example, get rich so you can contribute to IMSA's endowment. I guess we've been saying that for 30 years. Get so rich you have an unlisted telephone company. Or don't go to college, instead go to Paris. Fall in love with two people at the same time. Parents, you didn't hear that. Meet a Zen Buddhist and take him to lunch." Dr. Letterman went on to say, but then what was bothering me surfaced. What so many of you have that is unique, and this is independent of academic prowess. And listen up, class of 2017, because I think this statement really applies to you as well as it did to the class of 1989. So Dr. Letterman said, what is so valuable is what I call the clarity of vision that reflects the unencumbered young mind. So let me repeat that. He said, what is so valuable is what I call the clarity of vision that reflects the unencumbered mind. And so Dr. Letterman explained, he said, well, remember the parable of the emperor's new clothes? For scientists, the story in retrospect raises goose pimples. The child saw the truth. The child was free of dogma, of inculcated beliefs or prejudices, the child blurted it out. "Mom, the emperor is naked." That is why most of the great breakthroughs in physics and math were made by people in their teens and in early 20s. Their minds were still unencumbered by the body of knowledge that would soon constrain their clarity of vision. End quote. So class of 2017, let me say I'm proud of you. We are all proud of you. Always take IMSA with you as you embark in your next journey and in your futures. Thank you. Thank you. And now it brings me great pleasure, and it is my great honor to accept the class of 2017. By the authority vested in me as the president of the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the state of Illinois, I accept these students as graduates of IMSA and proclaim them as worthy to receive their diplomas and medallions.
We would like to be recognized as a class and realize that you want to recognize individual students. However, in keeping with the formal nature of this special ceremony honoring the class of 2017 and in the interest of the dignity of the program, please hold your applause until all members of the class have received their diplomas. Thank you. William Ling Tiao Tong. Madison Fen Dong. Mateusz Władysław Ludwik Czykowski. Eve Christine Adami. Ankit Agarwal. Ayan Agarwal. Vadini Agrawal. Michael Alexandrovich. Dominique Monet Anderson. Spencer Riley Andrews. Athena Ruby Apavu. Denise Avalos. Michael Jeffrey Baczynski. John Joseph Badalamenti. Allison Yifeng Bai. Anna Baranikova. Jason Barraza. Matthew Wade Beecham. Adrian Michael Babenik. Caden Robert Bedingfield. Bailey Allison Blackburn. Paulina Oleg Bondarenko. Yasmin Jada Broy. Aditya Buditi. Daisy Bugarin. Hannah Marie Cavagnetto. Casey Stephen Cervantes. Cecilia Antigone Chang. Felicia Yanfei Chen. Shreya Chanuru. Roy Gun Chu. Austin Philip Choi. Cameron Elise Clanton. Elliot Christopher Cleven. Hector Miguel Correa. Giselle Mina Cruz. Daniel Sanford Curtis. Naga Harshita Degala. Keisha Dawn DeJarnett. John Hugh DeMastri. Nina Levon Den. Michael Guevara Dizon. Michael Vincent Dow. Catherine Rose Drake. Divya Dhareja. Aisha Olabisi Dorojaye. Daniel James Elias. Megan Christine Estrada. Natasha Mary Fafera. Kyle Brennan DePaz Feliciano. Grant James Finnegan. Mark Jacob Fournier. Caden Luis Frawley. Nikita Garapati. Ira Palad Garcia. Maria G. Garcia. Stoyan George Georgiev. Alexis Elena Giff. Alexander Gonzalez. Arturo Granados. Adam Grobman. Xinyu Guan. Michelle Guo. Herschel Raj Gupta. Emily Ruth Hawker. Addison Clark Herr. Melanie Elizabeth Hess. Ryan Christopher Higgins. Auden McEwen Hins. Lindy Hong. Jacob Jason Manabat Horseman. Alex Hughes. Joseph Anthony Hutter. Shin Alexander Imai. Samita Ainampuri. Joanna Ivanova. Timur Abdullah Javid. George Jeno. Gina Guo Chiang. Gregory Arthur Johnson. Ryan Schweizer Johnson. Meghana Kamanani. Theodora Emily Khan. Raghuram Paramahamsa Koganti. Krishi Korapati. Sweta Kota. Priyanka Sai Krishnan. Anish Kudaravalli. Katrina Marie Kuhn. Wasan Mani Kumar. Kate Elizabeth Kwasneski. Akash Lakshmanan. Ramya Lakshmanan. Alkayas Lam. Isabel Jinhee Lee. Jessica Annie Lee. Linnea Rose Lee Brown. Jenny Lee. Lisa Lee Yi Lin. Rebecca Caroline Lisk. Amy Yang Liu. Jonathan Liu. Robert Liu. Benjamin Eakin Mayer.
Hina Shrivastava. Tess Sample Mangan. Jan Emily Santos Mangulabnan. Daniel James Martin. Gabrielle Jean Massini. Jeremy Daniel Matea. Emma Christiana Matson. Shannon Rose McKay. Ishan Marotra. Wincy Faith Mejias. Wincy Fiend Mejias. John Alexander Messina. Rohit Mitapalli. George Herbert Moe. Shruti Mohan. Jack Henry Mueller. Cami L. Muckenschnabel. Abigail Maria Opila Munkal. Samantha Ann Murphy. Arissa Thet Mintz. Naomi Sue Nakajima. Sagar Shibu Nataveti. Jill Britta Nelson. Sean Dan No. Hugh Dan Nguyen. Anmol Nigam. Vanius Normantis. Nicholas Joseph Nuskart. Caitlin Christina O'Callahan. Colin J. O'Reilly. Jae Young Oh. Deborah Amarachi Okoli. Samuel Chibikam Okoli. Alex M. Orlov. Richard D. Osmond. Yeun Baek. Joseph Abraham Palakil. Akash Palani. Tim Pan. Grace Nalim Park. Sumin Park. Tara Michelle Parkman. Dara Ashokakumar Patel. Shrey Amang Patel. Sneh Purushottam Patel. Sneha Paturi. Kate Elizabeth Paus. Ira Miguel Peregrino. Morgan Renee Phillips. Carolina Veronica Pozzada. Jair N. Powell. Shayla Erin Rady. Kayla Cease Reflores. Ethan Taylor Sego Romali. Timothy Pedraza Ramos. Sophia Catherine Rohde. Malik Jalen Roberson. Jennifer Jacqueline Rosar. Grace Ann Ryan. Eugen Sakti. Braden Jake Balsley Soltis. Braxton Riley Schultz. Frederick James Schultz. Priya Sharma. Snigdha Sharma. Andrei Sheptonov. Jada Judith Sherrod. Edward Pei Shi. Jasmine Shi. Daniel Hubin Shin. Samita Shrestha. Shivali K. Shukla. Jasmine Brianna Simmons. Harshvardhan Singh. Pranav R. Sivakumar. Whitney Wayla Sloniker. Nathaniel Isaac Smith. Isabella Rose Spinelli. Simon X. Su. Deepshika Sudhakar. Evan Waitran Sun. Videhi Suryanarayanan. Nitya Talasila. Reveli Thimapuram. Lily Ann Tan Lien Trancat. Corona Shuli Tsai. Shri Varun Sai Tumarakota. Alexa Tishka. Zachary Isaac Ungerleider. Pranav Aditya Upadhyayula. Sushil Balaji Upadhyayula. Colette Elizabeth Vaca. Natalie Ann Valentine. Neha Verma. Walker Camden Wyland. Alyssa Renee Wilkie. Bing Tao Xiang. Amy Lee Xie. Justin Xu. Grace Yang. Andrew Michael Yi. Mariah Grace Jelinek. David Ying. Alexander Nadim Yao. Amy Shuming Yu. Brian Austin Yu. Samuel Evan Zellman. Rongjen Zhou. Michelle Kelly Ju.
It is my privilege and honor to present to you the graduates of the class of 2017 from the Illinois Mathematics and Science Academy. Thank you.